Hello there everyone. Today we're going to do this. This is a chartreuse and black salmon fly, a color combination that really is great and has a lot of salmon on its conscience. You can, as always, find the full material kit and the full material list by clicking on the link below here in the commentary or in the in-video link. As always, also please subscribe if you haven't done so to the channel already. That would mean a lot to me. My fly tying shop where you can get all the materials is called flytying.eu, and here I have all this in a package ready to go. So first up, we're going to use a Pro Flexi tube. I've cut one of these down in size so it's easier to work with. And the first thing we're going to do is to apply a bit of Sabagap here. Simply to have something that the 10 millimeter US tube that we're going to use for weight, so the fly will fish at the second it hits the water. Simply, we're just going to push that up there, and because there is a bit of super glue to spare, I'm just going to remove that with some leftover feather stumps I have laying around. Good. As I said, this is not a very difficult fly, but it has a few stations, and we're gonna go through them as we tie along. The first one is we need some pearl Mirage Tinsel, and I'm simply gonna take a small piece of this and tie this down on top of the thick part of the tube here, like that. And then I'm gonna turn this backwards to get. I can't recall if this is the butt or the or what this is actually called in fly tying lingo, the tag or the butt. But please feel free to comment on that in the commentary below here. So basically, I just made a small. Of that, and then we're going to have a tail, and for the tail we're going to use fluorofiber. So basically I'm going to take a small bundle of this, and then I'm going to double it in order to save on materials. Oh, stop that. In order to save on materials. Sorry, I haven't put my phone on. Yeah, now I have. To save on materials, so I take a bundle of this and I double it. Then I cut off the loop here, making it easier for me to taper this correctly. So I have the desired length here, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it so that it tapers. Like so. And this fluorofiber really is nice. It's a bit shiny and reflects some light and stuff like that. So it's ideal for a fly like this. This is a chartreuse in color as well as is the rest of the fly. So I'm gonna tie this right here where the tinsel was placed, like so. And there we have the tail. Nice and tapered and looking exactly like we want it to be. I'm gonna cut off the rest of the fluorofiber, and then I'm gonna use some micro flat braid, mini flat braid from Vevus in fluorescent yellow. This would probably be called electric yellow or something like that. I'm gonna place that on the thread here so I can manage it completely, and then I'm gonna tie this on the underside here. Stay there, like so. The thread I'm using is the Vevus 50 denier, which is a nice thread for something like this, because you can really apply some pressure and you can tie down your material very firmly. So this ensures that your material stays where it's placed with a minimum of tying thread, like so. That's basically just going to be the back end of the body, like so. And then I'm going to add some thread on top of this US tube to ensure that the rest of my materials here will stay where it's placed. And as you can see, there's going to be, we're tying onto the thinner tube further along, which will make it easier for us to make a nice little correctly shaped head of this fly, like so. Then I'm going to take some sinew fusion dubbing in the color Lizard. Again, a nice chartreuse color with some added flash effect here. Basically, just gonna dub that onto the thread very easily. You can use some dubbing wax if you like that. I'm just gonna do it like this, and basically what I want is I want my body to taper, so it gradually becomes bigger and bigger towards the end of the fly, to give it that drop shape that really makes the fly swim the best, like so. This is a fairly large fly, so this is intended to be used in the early parts of the salmon fishing, where the big fish enters the river first. So like that. Perfect. And I want my front part of the body to be a bit longer than my flat braid part of the body. Then we're going to take some marble fox, and marble fox is the best option for this, because marble fox is longer in general than is Arctic fox, and that's why this is the best option for this. We're going to use two different colors of these, first chartreuse and then black. I'm going to take out the bit of the longest of the coarser hairs here, just to have a wing that is more uniform and gives the right look to the fly. The first wing here is going to be about as long as the tail. Tie this down on top here. Fasten it with a few turns of the thread, not too much. Oh, I should have done this before. I'm just going to pull out some of the dubbing here to make the body look more like so. Like that. Good. Actually, I see now that I've had too little dubbing here, so I'm just gonna, some of the body were shining through, so I'm gonna add some more dubbing before I add the wing. This will not do. I think that is better. And let's just pull some of that out. Yeah, that's way better. Just to give it a bit more of transparent look. Like so. Better, definitely better. And then it's time for the wing. I just placed it on the side here, so I would have it ready when needed. Like that. Then the first part of the wing, the chartreuse one, on top here, laying exactly where I want it to be, having that nice teardrop shape. Cut off all the materials I don't need. And a good pair of scissors is really a crucial key element here. Just gonna tie 2 more turns of the thread and really clamp down on it here to make sure that it stays in place like so. And then I'm gonna take the black wing, again using the marble fox. Pulling out a bit of these the longest of these coarser hairs, but I'm gonna leave some here, as you can see, in order to give it the right tapering effect, like that. And when you pick out these wings, it's important that you do not that you have the correct amount of feather of hairs, and that's something that comes with with having tied a lot of flies. The more flies you've tied, the easier it will be for you to actually select the right materials and stuff like that. But one thing I see a lot is that people use too much materials. Be careful not to use too much materials, because it will make your flies look too bulky and not be not have the correct look in the water. So it's better to dress them lighter than to overdress them, I would say. And as you can see, my black part of the wing is a bit longer than the green one, just a bit longer. So I get the tail is shorter, the green is slightly longer than the green, and then the black is longer than both, to give the right the correct properties and proportions of the wing here. Gonna cut off as close to all of this as I can, making sure that I really have fastened the materials correctly here. Then I'm gonna take a green hackle, and you can get some pretty nice ones with these mesh packages, but the best way to go is to get yourself a complete hen saddle or a soft patch. That is the best way to go, definitely. You'll get more feathers, and you'll get more feathers in the correct length and stuff like that. So that really is the best option. I just simply pull back the feathers and cut off, and then I'm gonna tie this so the top side of this feather is gonna be facing in towards me. This will make sure that when I tie this, my hackles will be turned correctly and point backwards. So I tie this down right here where I tied down the hairs, like so. And then I'm gonna fold everything back whilst I turn. So I'm gonna do maybe 2 turns on top of where the feather is, and then perhaps 1 or 2 turns just in front of the tying down point of the hairs. I'm gonna cut over that, fold everything back, and fasten it like so. I'm gonna take a black hackle. Again, a saddle is the best way to go, or a magnum patch. But you can of course use the mesh packages. As I said, they are fairly cheap and a good place to start. Because I do not want too much of this black one, I'm stripping off one of the sides. Let me see if I strip the right side off. I did. I'm gonna strip off, when I look at this, I have the upper side, and on the upper side I'm gonna strip the left side off. This will ensure that I get the correct the hackles will face the correct way when I turn it, like so. And as you can see, when I turn this, the fibers will be the natural curve of the fibers will be the correct way. And I want the green to stand out. That's why I only used half of the black, like so. Then I'm going to cut that off. And all we need to do now is to attach the jungle cock, the whole jungle cock, and some flesh in the cone head, and we're done. So as you can see, really well, you can easily just take this fishing now if you wanted to. That would be it's a great fly as it is, but the cone head is a nice addition because it keeps the fly level and counterbalances the hook in in the end of this fly, which really is I would say important. So now I'm gonna take my Pro Jungle Cock, and this is a size small. There is an X small and an XX small as well. Of course, there's a large and an extra large also, and a medium. But the XX large is something I only use for pikes. And the sizes I use the most is the small and the extra small and the XX small for salmon flies. So I place one of these here on one side, like that. And then, of course, before you use these, it's important to take them and then just run them over your nails and stuff like that to make them a bit more pliable and a bit easier to manipulate. Like this. You gotta love the look of that. The Pro Jungle Cock, fake Jungle Cock, is by far the best artificial Jungle Cock I've ever worked with. They are really cool. And then I'm gonna take some wing and flash in chartreuse, this material, just to have a bit of flash effect to the wing here. And I'm gonna spread that out so it's all the way over the wing. It's not gonna be in one place. It's gonna be on the shoulders and distributed all the way over the wing here. Just 10 strands or so. Not too much, but a little flash is nice for this. I'm gonna cut off that like so. Then I'm gonna make a whip finish. Cut off thread. Cut off the stumps of the Jungle Cock. The leftover flash here, see I didn't cut that completely. Like that. Add some salmon gap in order to keep this, to make sure that this will hold my wing and everything in place, but also to make sure it will hold the cone head in place. Take a chartreuse Pro Sportsfisher cone head. Push that all the way up there. Yeah, I'm pleased with myself. This really is a cool pattern and a cool looking fly. So, well, basically that's it. The chartreuse Sorensen, I know this fly as because it was, well, at least the first one I ever saw that was made kind of like this was made by a guy called Jakob Sorensen, and this is really a cool fly. Lars, do you know this fly by any other name? Do you know the name of this fly? No, you don't. Okay, that's just another guy who's here with me. But, well, there you go. This chartreuse Sorensen. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe, of course. Until next time.